When we come to see the teddy bear here to play, if you don't come play with us.
Well, welcome back everybody to Dead Air. If you're new here, my name is Siena Anzaldua, and we have a very, very special guest, the horrifying lead, Michael Shields, who plays Teddy from Teddy Told Me To. Teddy, thank you so much for being on, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So, how did you first get involved with Teddy Told Me To?
Well, little backstory. Tom Devlin, who's the director of the movie,
Yeah.
is a special effects makeup artist, and there was a TV show years ago called Face Off,
Mm-hmm.
and he was actually on that show, I think season 2, and they had a assignment every week, and this particular week he was assigned something from your childhood that scared you. And
That's so
he
cool.
he had a Teddy Ruxpin. You remember those little Teddy Ruxpin dolls?
Yeah.
Well, he had one of those as a kid. I guess it kind of scared him.
Yeah.
And so whenever this assignment was brought up for the TV show, he based that character off of Teddy Ruxpin. And so that particular week, he won for this character for Teddy. Years later, he comes out to Vegas and he opens Tom Devlin's Monster Museum out in Boulder City, which is a little suburb of Vegas itself. And, me and my wife went out there one time, and his father was actually working at the counter of the museum, and we walk in, not knowing anything, except we'd been fans of this TV show, and, we're excited. And we do the little, museum tour, come back out, and we're talking to the dad. And he goes, "Well, do you want to meet Tom?" And we're like, "Well, yeah." And so he makes Tom come over and we meet him. So fast forward a little bit, every year Tom has a haunted attraction, like a haunted house.
Yeah.
And we became friends with him. And so we would start working in his haunted house. And, like one year I was Jason Voorhees, I've been Michael Myers, And so we're getting ready for the season this year. And he goes, "Oh, Michael, I got a special assignment for you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, what is it?" He goes, "Well, you're going to be playing Teddy." I'm like, "Awesome."
That's so cool.
Yeah. So in the haunted attraction itself, I'm playing Teddy.
Yeah.
And toward the end of the year, he's like, "Oh, by the way, we're going to be making the Teddy movie." I go, "Neat. Can I be in it?" He goes, "Oh, you are Teddy." So I was actually given the role to play Teddy. They originally had a different movie in mind and script.
Yeah.
Because people for years had been asking him, "When are you going to make the Teddy movie? When are you going to do it?"
Yeah.
And so they actually rewrote the script and changed everything around so that I could become Teddy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it really is. And, I had absolutely no acting background whatsoever except for the haunt or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I made a experimental movie in college, because I was a cinema and photography major. And, but I was more behind the scenes of that movie. I had like one scene where, I had a weird little character and that was it. And so, that's how we ended up getting the role of Teddy.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I think that's for me, that's one of the best parts of horror and that kind of thing, because you always hear people, "Oh, I'd love to be killed in a horror movie," or something like that. So I think it's really cool to see that, you just kind of met up with the guy, you didn't have any experience in the career, but you came and, sorry for the pun, but you made a stab at it.
Oh, brother.
And so I think that's really awesome. That's cool to hear. And I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to make, and and for no acting experience, I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, you did great, I'd say. It was horrifying. I loved it.
Oh, good.
So, for people who really haven't seen the movie yet, how would you describe the film without giving too many spoilers or anything away?
Well, the main characters are Danny and Zoe,
Mhm.
not Zoe, it's Zoe. They're a young couple, and they're into horror movies and stuff like that, and they
Mhm.
decide that they want to buy a haunted attraction, fix it up, and basically make enough money, from 1 month of work for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Well, they end up, going through the process of hiring people, different actors, everything like that. And there's a past story of, a supposed murder at this haunted attraction.
Mhm.
Well, come to find out that that part was a little bit true. And once the opening night starts, all hell breaks loose and Teddy goes on a rampage.
And it's truly a rampage. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's no holds barred, gore to the max. I love it.
Well, to give you an idea, I've seen people who do kill counts,
Oh
on
yeah.
different movies. I want to say there's 36 kills in the movie, and
Oh,
this
that's
movie
crazy.
this movie is only like 80 minutes. It's
Yeah,
not a
it
real
wasn't a
long
super
movie.
long movie.
Yeah, and out of those 36, my Teddy character gets like 34 of them. So
It's true.
yeah,
You
yeah,
do.
it's a brutal little montage area for a while too. So
Yeah, it is. With all the blood and the guts and all that kind of stuff.
yep,
It's not for the faint of heart. I will say that. It is not for the
no.
faint of heart.
And the other thing is, though, it's a horror comedy.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of funny parts in it,
Hmm.
but yeah, we definitely lean heavy into the gore because like I said, Tom Devlin, it's his movie. He's a special effect makeup artist,
Yeah.
and this is his directorial debut. He had
Hmm.
never directed a movie in his life. He'd been around, many movies,
Hmm.
but so yeah, he got to do pretty much what he wanted, and we just had a blast doing it.
Yeah, you guys sure did what you wanted. I think that really worked in your guys' favor, especially you brought up the comedy of this movie, and I think your character does that very well because he's very silent. Teddy is very
Yep,
silent throughout the movie. So it's all about timing and stuff. And the timing was great for the comedic effect. So
yep.
you nailed it. Y'all nailed it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So when you were playing Teddy, did you really like base him on anything? A real person, a horror character, maybe a fear you had as a child?
Um, I did not really base it, except a little bit drawing on Michael Myers.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I'm a big Halloween fan, big Michael Myers fan.
Yeah,
So the silent portion, as far as the killing, yeah, there was that. Obviously the character itself was based on the Teddy Ruxpin and his
of
creation.
course. Yeah.
And I tend to have a natural dark side. So I kind of let that go.
Oh, that's cool. That's sorry. But yes, it is one of my dreams to be in a horror movie. So to hear that from you and say like you were able to tap into something a little bit darker, I think that really translated on screen as well. I think that you portrayed that darkness very well. And I think
Yeah,
even though you were having fun and such, I think the audience really got that darkness, but also got that fun side too. So I think
yeah.
that's cool.
And nobody will ever see it or notice it, but after every kill in the movie,
Mhm.
myself personally, I get this little tiny smile, just like, because I'm so happy I just did that to somebody.
That's crazy. That's kind of cool. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I would react in that situation. I don't know if I'd smile, if I'd like yell like as a release or something, but that's funny that you say that you smile a little bit. I've heard that before too.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. So,
Yeah.
how did you actually get into character when you were playing Teddy? Did you have like a ritual? Did you have to sort of prepare physically and mentally? What did that process look like?
Well, when we first started shooting the movie,
Hmm.
I again no acting experience, but I'd
Yeah.
always heard of this method acting thing.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I was sitting there going, well, if I'm the villain, I should not be friendly to any cast member. You know, so the first few nights of shooting, I kind of stayed away until it was time for my scenes and I'd come and do it.
Yeah.
And then I realized all of a sudden, I go, this doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Again, tapping into the natural dark side of my head,
Yeah.
I would sit there and go, okay, this is the scene we're doing. This is how we want it done. And, Tom had a basic rule that there was no more than 3 takes in every scene.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
The majority of the scenes that you see are first takes.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's 2 scenes that I know for a fact that we had to do twice because I wasn't happy with something, so I was like, "Can we do it again?"
Yeah.
One of them, whenever I was chasing Zoe throughout the thing, and she puts a little couch in front of me,
Yeah.
and I'm chasing her, and I grab it and throw it. Well, first time I did that, I didn't throw it hard enough in my liking.
Yeah.
So I was like, can we do it again? And second time, no problem. And whenever I'm killing Charles, who's a little annoying guy in the movie,
Yeah.
I come out from behind a door like Texas Chainsaw Style Massacre. But the building that we were shooting in was built during the Hoover Dam days,
Oh, wow.
and this is the original door, so it doesn't slide real good.
Yeah.
So the first take, again, I didn't slide it hard enough for my liking, so we did it the second time.
Yeah.
Good. But almost everything else is 1 take.
Wow, that's amazing. You never
Yeah.
hear that when you're shooting a movie.
Oh, I know. But I guess from Tom being on so many movie sets that he'd seen people do, 12, 13, 14 takes,
Yeah.
and he's like, this is ridiculous,
Yeah, it sort of gets
If-
redundant kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so his rule was no more than 3, and there was very seldom that I know of that it took more than 3 takes of anything.
Right.
So,
That's
yeah.
really cool. That's really interesting. So you talk about how like at the beginning you sort of got into character not only during the scenes but before, so you wouldn't talk to any of the other cast members or you kind of be rude to them. Do you still talk to a lot of the cast members now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, shortly after I realized it's not going to make a difference if
Yeah.
I alienate myself from them or not.
Yeah.
Naturally I am not a people person.
I get you.
But yeah, but I got to the point where I would sit there and start talking to everybody, who wasn't busy at that moment.
Yeah, of
and they were
course.
near me. I'd have a conversation with them, and I ended up making a lot of friends from this. And I talked. Well, we do the haunt every year.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the actors in this movie are the haunt actors in real life. So we look forward every year to the haunt season. This year we did, Halloween. We did a Christmas one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We also did My Bloody Valentine, and we just
Oh,
did
that's
the Easter
cool.
one as well.
Oh,
So all the people that are in the movie, for the most part, have become friends of mine. And I look forward to it because I get to go out and see my friends now. And, we've done other movies other than Teddy together as well.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So for you, you talked about method acting and getting into character. Which scene for you was the most difficult to film during this movie?
The final confrontation between me and Zoe.
Oh, yeah.
My toy box.
You. It can't be.
Who, Teddy? The only thing he ever loved was that bear. It's the only way I can feel close to him.
The age doesn't match.
Ted Sr., Theo, Big Ted.
But you said he killed his whole family.
That ain't entirely true now, is it? For some reason, we had so much trouble with that dialogue.
Okay.
for example, there's a scene where we're sitting around the bonfire, the campfire, before the haunt actually opens, and
Yeah.
they're wanting to hear the Teddy story. And so I do the, backstory of Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that in one take.
Yeah.
Again, no mess ups, no anything. With me and Zoe, we'd do a few lines and it'd be like, and like I said, for whatever reason, the dialogue on that one was just kind of clunky for us.
Mm-hmm.
But we obviously figured it out, got through it, and it turned out good.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
yeah, I could imagine that final confrontation being a little bit difficult to film specifically for the dialogue and such. So
yeah,
hearing that from you as well, that makes a lot of sense.
yep.
So on on set, were there any funny or like unexpected moments where you broke character on accident or anything like that? Was there any situation like that that happened?
Not really.
Okay.
Um, afterwards, like for example, whenever I kill Charles, so
Mhm.
Charles is running through, and I come out from behind the door, Texas Chainsaw style,
Right.
and I grab him by the neck and pin him up there. He's sitting there, and he was a military guy. He's a
Oh,
military
okay.
guy. He's like, you know what? Don't worry about hurting me. I'm like, okay. So whenever I grab him and throw him up against that wall,
Yeah.
I grab him and throw him up against that wall. And after the scene, he's like, I can't believe how strong you are for an old guy. You
Oh
know,
no.
because I literally grabbed him and picked him up one handed and threw him onto that wall.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, we laughed about that. During the scenes themselves, there was no real, breaking character or anything like that. But
Right.
afterwards, there was times where we just start laughing, because the amount of blood, or um, like the very first two kills that I did for the movie. They're not the
Mhm.
ones in the movie, but the ones I killed were the Grim Life Collective.
Oh yeah.
And whenever I cut Jennifer's neck, there's 5 gallons of blood, I think, in 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and again, this is my very first kill on screen. And they sit there and go, okay, well, what you're going to do is, and they explain it, and then there's going to be blood. I'm like, okay, I was not ready for that much blood that quick, you know, excuse me. And then
No problem.
afterwards, I was just sitting there laughing, going, wow, that was so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of times after the scene, it's whenever we'd break up.
Yeah.
And
Okay, gotcha.
and something else interesting about it, when you're watching the movie, you'll notice that there's scenes that are shot on like security cameras, and it
Hmm.
looks like patrons coming through the haunted house.
Yeah.
Well, we actually filmed this during the haunt season, and those people that you see are actual haunt patrons coming through the haunt itself. So we would go from the haunt from like 7 till 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then at 10 o'clock we'd shut the haunt down, and then we'd shoot the movie after that.
Oh
And
wow.
there was a couple nights where I was on, set till 3, 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
you know,
Man.
and but that also added a lot of realism to the movie itself, because those are true patrons coming through. And, a lot of people are, when they hear that, they're like, wow, that's pretty cool and interesting. So there's people in the movie that don't even know they're in the movie because they may not have watched it. So
That's really cool. That's really cool
yeah,
to pull in that real life sort of experience of a haunt and tie it into the horror movie. I think that's really cool and it adds another layer of uniqueness to this movie.
yeah,
So that's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Did you feel like that made it a little bit more fun for you to go and do the haunt and then get in character and actually film the movie?
Well, yeah, it was a lot of fun because
Yeah.
during the haunt, I
Yeah.
was Teddy.
Yeah.
So I was already in the full uniform, everything, I was scaring people, and then afterwards I go kill people.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how I know you kind of talked about how you had a relationship with the director at first, but how was the actual filming environment? Was it sort of an intense sort of feeling, or how did it feel also being your first movie to ever shoot?
It was not intense at all. It was fun.
Okay. Oh,
Just
cool.
plain and simple
Yeah.
fun. Um, you know, yeah, there were times where it was a little intense because, we're running out of time or we want to get this done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, but otherwise, no, it was just fun. And again, Tom with the rule that no more than three takes,
Yeah.
he also expressed the fact that he wanted to have fun on the movie.
Hmm.
And, when you watch it, you can really tell that this is a love story or an homage to the 80s slashers.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and, we all grew up watching those. We love them. Everybody involved with this project is a horror fan. And, it's just a love letter to it. And so we had fun and it was great just to do it.
Yeah, you can really, for me, obviously a horror fan myself, and a particular huge fan of 80s horror slashers. You could really tell the love that went into this with the gore specifically too. I love a lot of gore
Yeah.
in my movies, so seeing all the gore in this movie really just skyrocketed to the top for me. So I think that's really cool, and I like that sort of homage to that 80s horror, and you could feel that in the movie. So I love
Yeah.
that. That's really cool. So what exactly about production do you feel like would surprise the audience? Is there something that was sort of different other than what you've told us here today that you feel like would be like, oh, that's sort of an interesting tidbit to the audience?
Well, one of the best things about this movie is the amount of actual horror icons and legends that we have in this movie.
Mm.
We've got Felissa Rose.
Yep.
And if you don't know who that is, she was on Sleepaway Camp and many other things. We got two different Jason Voorhees in it. We've got C.J. Graham
Oh,
and
wow.
Warrington Gillette. Warrington Gillette was in part two,
Hmm.
and whenever the deformed Jason comes through the window, that's Warrington.
Oh, wow.
Um, let's see here. I got a little cheat sheet. Um, we got Trent Haga. He is actually Killjoy. There's a movie series called Killjoy, which is a
Hmm.
killer clown, and he plays the younger version of me.
Hmm.
And something real funny on that. I did not actually meet him during production, but
Oh,
we
wow.
went over to LA for the LA premiere.
Hmm.
There was actually Tom did a nationwide tour where he basically started on the East Coast and drove and would stop at different places and show the movie. So the final stop was over in LA, and we went over there, and I got to meet him. And we're playing basically each other, the same
Yeah.
character. So I walked up, and he walked up to me. He's like, "Damn, it's like looking in a mirror." I'm like, "Yeah, we do not look anything alike." And I'm good 7, 8, 9 inches taller than him. So he's like, "Yeah, it's just like looking in a mirror." Um, that was always funny. Um, Drew Marvick, who is Duke the Chainsaw Clown, and me and him have a chainsaw fight in the movie
Hmm.
itself.
Yeah.
He's actually the director of Pool Party Massacre.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they filmed Pool Party Massacre too. I haven't heard anything about a release date or anything like
Mhm.
that. Um, any wrestling fans out there, we have a cameo by Papa Shango,
Oh,
who
okay. We do
who,
have some
who
wrestling fans.
yeah, and the two guys, in the butcher shop area,
Hmm.
they're both professional wrestlers as well, so that's always kind of cool.
That's cool.
And we do have Tabitha Stevens.
Hmm.
Now, if people are not familiar with Tabitha Stevens, she is an adult actress, but she's an absolute icon from the like 80s. So just that star power alone. Oh, and we got Lisa Wilcox from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5.
Hmm.
You know, so these are just people that Tom knows, and he's like, "Hey, would you want to do this little part in the movie?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, great." So most low budget movies, you don't get any star power whatsoever.
Yeah.
We've got some legends, so that's always kind of cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, I know I'm very familiar with Felissa Rose because she comes to Fresno a lot. So
Hmm.
we have we have one convention that sort of started the whole horror convention here in Fresno, and it's called Hotmare, and she comes here like often. So I
Yeah.
think that's really cool. I love seeing her in different movies and such. So that's really cool. I love hearing all the different connections and all the different cameos and such in this movie. That's cool.
Yep. But after that, everybody else in the movie, we've got, like I said, Grim Life Collective's in it. We've got Jacob the Carpetbagger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's one other podcaster I can't remember right now. Anyway, we've got several big podcast, people, personalities in there as well.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and then everybody else is just regular everyday Joe Schmoes who are, making their acting debut.
Yep. Just trying to make it.
Yep.
So you talked about like how everyone on set was a horror fan, and I'm sure that you're a horror fan as well.
Oh yeah.
What is your favorite horror movie or horror performance?
Like I said, I am a big original Halloween, 1978. You
Awesome.
know,
That is, oh, that
that's
is such a
that's my
classic.
favorite of all time. I hate to do it, but Teddy's up there now. Obviously.
As he should be.
Well, yeah,
As he should be.
but I am also just a huge fan of low budget, cheesy, weird movies. Um, Whenever I was a teenager, I really first discovered Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Yeah.
people consider it the worst movie ever made. First time I saw it, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? How, you know, it was just so low budget and so bad and cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with it. And I recorded it on VHS
Yeah.
and I would have friends come over and I was like, you got to watch this. And I would sit there. I probably made at least 100 people watch this movie just because I loved it so much.
Oh my
And to this
gosh.
day, I will still go out and find, some weird movie like Crackoon, you know, that
Cracky.
one, Crackoon, that one cracked me up because the CGI they did for the raccoon was
Yep.
so bad, you know. I recently watched one called Scared Shitless, and it's a father who's a plumber, and he's going to make his son, go into the family business. Well, his son is a germaphobe, cannot stand anything, and so of course, he freaks out, and they go out. There's critters in the plumbing system, and everybody starts getting butchered.
Of
But
course.
again, it's just one of those that I love those kind of movies. Now
Yeah.
I can get my wife to watch a lot of horror movies. She
Mm-hmm.
loves them, but the really weird, cheesy stuff like that, she won't do. So those are my personal ones. So,
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Sharknado.
oh yeah,
Sharknado is very near and dear to my heart. So
yep,
yes, that's one of my favorites, favorite like cheesy horror movies. So I
yeah.
understand very much.
And my wife, when the first Sharknado came out, I was like, what? We're going. She loved it.
Yeah,
So she said there every year for a while. It was like once a year they were releasing a new one. She was looking forward to the new one every year. So there are some that she does like, but
yeah,
the
absolutely.
really, really off the wall ones and stuff, no,
Not into.
no.
So, Michael, what are you working on now? Are there some projects that you're wanting to tell the audience about?
Well, I've actually done 4 other movies with Tom now, and the next one we did together was called Las Vegas Frankenstein,
Okay.
and it's basically a reimagination of the Frankenstein story.
Mhm.
It's instead of a mad scientist, it's a cheesy magician out here in Vegas,
Oh wow.
and it's pretty cool. That one is cool because Daniel Roebuck. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yes.
So he was the grandpa in the new Monsters Rob Zombie version.
Yep.
In Terrifier 3, he was Santa Claus.
Mhm.
Well, he plays a detective in this movie.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, and we're all doing like a big party scene together. So I got to sit there and talk to him for, quite a while. Real nice guy. And he's been in several movies I love. So I was talking to him about that. Um, After that, we did one called The After Dark, which is a punk rock vampire movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a snobs versus slobs kind of situation. You got the aristocratic vampires versus the punk vampires.
Yep.
And one of the aristocrats falls in love with one of the punks. And so it's a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing going on. And it's just a war. On that particular one, I get to play a homeless guy. So I'm in the alley, and we did after that it's called The Nameless. And
Okay.
that one I believe is going to be coming out on Tubi May 12th.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. And in that one I get to play the father of the killer, and which is really cool. And as I'm sitting there, for my scene, I'm sitting on a park bench with my wife in the movie, who happens to be um, Ginger Lynn.
Um,
And there's a robbery that takes place, and I get shot, and the back of my head explodes. This is the first time I die on camera, so I was real excited about that one. And then we just had a world premiere a couple months ago of what's called Bloody Bluff. And this is a Bigfoot piece, but it's set in like the 1800s, so it's a period piece.
yeah.
And in that one, I get to play the town drunk. So that was real fun. I got one real good line. So.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about that one is Butch Patrick, who played Eddie in the Munsters.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that movie, so I can now say that I've also been in a movie with Eddie Munster.
Oh, that's
So
cool. That's
yeah,
awesome.
the Las Vegas Frankenstein and the After Dark are also on Tubi as well. So
Awesome.
go check those out. Like I said, Nameless will probably be out May 12th, and we're still waiting to hear from when the Bloody Bluff will be out for sure. But
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
I can't wait to see all your future projects, and I can't wait to see them on Tubi. Where can people follow you, your work, and find all your future projects and such?
I'm on TikTok, Teddy1313.
Mhm.
Facebook, it's just Michael Shields. So, if you want to friend me up, go right ahead. I had an explosion there. I used to be out of 150 friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I've got over 1,000 now.
Hey, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah. And so, yeah, those are the two. I'm on Instagram, but I don't use it. So, and if anybody wants information on the products themselves, the movies or stuff, you can go to Plan 10 Pictures, like Plan 9 from Outer Space, but it's Plan 10. And you can get, DVDs. You can get DVDs. We actually, believe it or not, I got an action figure.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, whenever I first found out there was going to be an action figure, I got so giddy. I was like, I saw the
I
original
have an
skull.
action figure.
Yeah, I was like, I saw the original sculpt, and I was like, oh my god! And then I saw the figures. I was like, oh, pardon me here, but
Oh.
we have T-shirts as well. I personally have the world's largest collection of Teddy T-shirts. I'm pretty sure because we had one through Terror Threads,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is the Plantain picture one. Then I've had a couple other custom ones printed up. So, you know, you can always go to Plantain Pictures for DVDs, all that merchandise and everything. And then Tom Devlin's Monster Museum, if you're in the Las Vegas area, drive out to Boulder City, go check it out. It's a really cool museum.
Mm-hmm.
There's a full size prop of me, with the stage or the screen used outfit.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's Puppet Masters. The original puppets from Puppet Master movies are in the museum. The spider from Gremlins 2, the
Mm-hmm.
spider gremlin,
Yeah.
it lives there.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, actually, Peter Stickles, who was in the Teddy movie, owns that piece, and he's just, left it there forever. And there's a lot of screen used props. He also custom makes different props. In fact, he just finished the T-800 Terminator.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it is absolutely, gorgeous how good it is. And then he's also got a small little movie theater in there. So you can actually watch, Teddy, or they have every Monday night they'll have play a movie and have like discussions about it and stuff. And then like last year they also opened Area 51, which is a UFO museum, which
Oh,
is kind of cool.
wow.
Yeah. So those are both in the same complex. And like right in between them is his workshop, and that's where a lot of Teddy was filmed. And so, you know, it's all right there in one little location. So yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, for joining me today. I really appreciate it for taking the time out of your day. Um, and all y'all at home, I mean, go watch this movie. It is such a fun watch. It's not for the faint of hearted, let me tell you. So if you don't like gore, maybe be a little cautious. But like I said, thank you so much, Michael, for joining
Uh,
us today. And
you're
thank you all
very
at
welcome.
home.
Yep. Thank you. It was an absolute pleasure.
Oh,
And
awesome.
everybody go watch Teddy and make it a cult classic, because that's what we're trying for.
Woo!